Hello, viewers out there. It's good to come your way once again, and I hope you've all had a wonderful Sunday. Today, we are going to hear more poems today from a beautiful young lady from all the way from Tanzania. She's UK based though, but she's so much identified with her roots that everywhere she goes, she carries Africa with her. And tonight, it's nobody other than my beautiful queen, Jacqueline Waziri. So, Jacqueline, welcome to the Inside View.
Thank you so much, Sister Nana, my Ghanaian queen. I'm so happy to be here. It's a great privilege.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you. Christmas is just around the corner. I mean, it wouldn't be nice if we don't talk about, poems, stories, and other things. You know what I mean? God has been so good to all of us. I mean, from January till now, and I'm thinking, this could just be the doing of the Lord. And I'm so glad and also privileged to have you on my show. So welcome once again, Jacqueline.
Thank you so, so much. It's a great honor as well on my side. Thank you.
So let me say Asante Sana. It's in your language, isn't it? So today I'm in Tanzania. Asante
That's
Sana.
amazing.
Whether I just said it right, but yeah.
You really did. Asante Sana and Akwaba, everyone from Ghana.
That's amazing. That's amazing. If you're watching us, we will please urge you to share. Invite as many people as possible to tune in, and let's listen to what our beautiful queen has for us. And also tonight, I'm so privileged to have, my makeup, provided by Creations by Viva. So, Christmas is just here. If you want to, gift some or, give a present to somebody, don't look further. You can, we women, we always want to look nice. And Viva is a place that you should actually look out for. She does amazing makeup. So my makeup, and also my this makeup was also applied by TNA Touch. You can also follow her on Instagram. And also I've got masterclass that provides extra tuition for children here. So if you want to follow masterclass, the numbers are also on the screen. It's 0757 8950 797. Just call this number and they will be of help to your child. And also we've got an amazing restaurant here in Bradford, Yam Spice. If you happen to be in Bradford and you want a very nice place to chill out, just look out for Yam Spice, and then trust me, they will look after you. They've got all the African cuisine, and you'll be well looked after. So once again, thank you, and Asante Sana.
Yeah. Amazing.
Jacqueline, you are a renowned poet. I've watched most of your programs. I've listened to your programs, but most people don't know who you are. So when we say Jacqueline Waziri, who are you?
Wow, thank you for that great question, Sister Nana. So who is Jacqueline Waziri? I would say I am a daughter of Africa, a daughter of Tanzania. And yes, and I carry that with great pride. And yeah, so I'm just a daughter of Africa, and I carry that with me everywhere I go. And with me comes so much. It comes with creativity, art, and so much more. So in short, Jacqueline Waziri is a creative, a poet, and a daughter of Africa. And my voice is here for my community and our neighbors.
Wow. That's very, very, very strong. Would would you say you're a very, very strong woman? You know, carrying Africa on your shoulder. I mean, would you describe yourself as a strong woman? Because it's easy to have women saying, "I'm a daughter of Africa," so
yes,
so boldly. Would you describe yourself as a very great woman? You know, a strong woman. Sorry.
yes. So I think I would say that it comes with me. So I don't see it as something heavy on my shoulder. It's my identity. So anywhere I go, straight away, you would tell she is from Africa. So I take that on with me everywhere I go first.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah,
Thank you so
Jackson
much.
Africa. So like that, because we you know, most of us, it's like we are even more comfortable speaking our own language, talking about our own heritage, talking about our own history, and here you are, a
Yeah,
young girl, you know, projecting Africa in this like in that positive light. I'm so proud of
yeah.
you. So
Thank you
proud.
so much. Thank you.
You know, it's not too common to have, you know, younger generation of yours so much passionate about poem,
Yeah.
about, you know, like about poetry or something, you know. And you know, what is your family background like, or you know, what kind of family, you know, did you grow up in that really helped shape the kind of person you are?
Yes, a great question, Sister Nana. So I come from a big family, and I would say that in my family, there are also many creatives, as well as so many different creatives, but writing does live within my family. So I can say this gift of poetry and writing has stemmed from the roots of inheritance 100%. So I think seeing my aunt writing and so passionate with communication as well has also made me the way I am today, but also from my great grandfather and so on. It lives within the family and it has shaped me to be the way I am today.
Hmm. I think I read, you know, something about your great grandfather. If you can just say something about him, you know, because obviously, you know, he is the one, the foundation, you know, of what you're doing now. If you want to just say maybe one or two about some of his writings.
Okay, so my great grandfather is known as the legendary Shaban bin Robert. And that name, once you mention that, everyone in Tanzania knows that name.
Mhm.
He is known as the father of Kiswahili.
Okay.
Um, yes, so his writing still lives today through poetry, and it is studied in education. And there's also secondary schools after his name because of the way how his writing is so powerful
Mhm.
to the to our language, our culture. And he's identified as an icon for the language of Kiswahili.
Okay. So would you say you come from a literary, you know, background?
100%. I believe that it is in our blood. It is in our it's in it's rooted in our inheritance writing, because I just find myself writing anywhere I go. Anywhere I have a pen, I want to write poetry. I want to write stories. So this comes it didn't come from education, it came from inheritance.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So how did you start as a poet?
Okay, so as a poet, um as I said before, anywhere I had a pen or computer, it could be at work and it's quiet and I'm on the computer, I will be writing short stories, short poetry. Yes, I'm sure if my so basically anywhere I have a pen,
Mhm.
there will always be writing down something. And I always wondered, what is this that I'm doing? Until later we was told about our where we come from and who and where this writing skills are inherited from.
Mhm. So for you, what kind of writers did you enjoy reading as a child?
As a child, I think I would read just books that were available at that time. And the reason why I say books that were available is because at that time there wasn't many books that I could identify with.
Mhm.
So this is where now my kind of generation, we yearn for books that look like us,
Mhm.
and we want to share our voices. And that's why I choose to write books that other youth and our community can read and also identify with. But back to your question, what kind of books was I reading? It's just what was available at that time.
Wow. So did you write as a child?
I wasn't writing things that I can keep, but everything that I had was written, but I've lost them, some of them. But it was just anywhere I went, I was always writing, but I haven't got anything to keep that I kept at that time.
Okay. Because concerning your recent, poem, the Moa, I don't know whether I pronounce it, right. How did you select the names of your
Wow,
characters?
beautiful question. So my book Mwana.
Sorry, Mwana.
No, it's perfectly fine. So Mwana it means child in Kiswahili. And my voice, as I said, I use it for the youth. And that name Mwana is very important in my culture because where I'm from in Tanzania, Tanga mostly, sometimes your first name is not used. You'll be called Mwana or Mwanangu, which means my child.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what elder it is that they're speaking to, they'll always call you Mwanangu. And many children in Tanzania have that name Mwana. So this name is very powerful to our community and to our culture. And it's best fitted because instead of the word youth, I'm using Mwana from my Kiswahili language.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what does that mean, the Mwana?
Mwana? Mwana
Hmm.
means child.
Child, sorry, yeah.
Yes.
I thought, yeah. So,
That's
so
okay.
I realize you've used a lot of historical stuff, like in most of your writings, just to project, your history and stuff like that. What are some of the ethics, of writing when you are writing about, such, I would say historical figures? What are some of the things that you follow? Because obviously you wouldn't want to get yourself into trouble. So what are some of the things?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So when I'm writing, I use my experience because I think I'm the best tool. I'm the best. My voice. It is enough to share for my community and for them to have a connection, and also what I experience, what I see around me. So yes, so for example, there's a poem in my book which is called George Floyd. And the reason why I wrote that poem is because when I was creating my book Mwana, that that situation, I don't know what to kind of call it, but it happened when I was in the middle of creating this and it affected me where I couldn't write for a while. So my writing in Mwana it comes from my experiences and what I see around me and what I go through.
So being a person of like creativity, I know you're so like a creative person. You like you follow your passion, as well. What is the most difficult part of your artistic process? Because you're.
Yes. So sometimes we actually go very blank and we don't know what to write. And sometimes that is when many people want us to write and you sometimes just don't. It's called I forgot the word, but there's a word that many creatives use. We just go blank and we don't know what to write. But when we do write, we are literally on a flow and we write forever. But when we stop, it's like a pen with all the ink finished. So I think sometimes that's the kind of challenges that I face.
Okay, so in the process of that blankness, what puts you into that that creative mode again? What influences
Yes.
or what really motivates you to go into the mode again?
Wow. So I think sometimes I let it come naturally. So if I'm in a space with people and I like to observe and
Okay.
see how people communicate, how ones connect. So sometimes it's being in the midst of people and listening.
Mhm.
So I like to do that often, and sometimes just quiet and peace and trying to reconnect with my thoughts and feelings and then sharing that so others can also relate.
Good. Canal, we have a lot of children finding it so difficult to sit and read, in spite of the fact that we still have libraries opening from 9 till 5, books in abundance and everything. And you visit libraries and it's so empty.
True.
You just find old people still
Yeah,
there, wanting to read. And
yeah,
then, sometimes you ask them, okay, it's on my Kindle.
yeah,
Yes, I can read on my tablet, iPad, my phones. But there's nothing like having a book in your hand. What do you want to say to parents out there watching you? With our
yes.
libraries, on the verge of closure, kids not wanting to read. And
Mm,
now we have, especially when you read some of the writings of this young generation, some, I'm not saying all of them, you'll be shocked to see a lot of grammatical errors. And
mm.
just think, I mean, how is that possible? What do you
Yes,
have to say to your generation who find it so difficult to read books? Because I can tell that your creativity also stems from the fact that you read a lot, you
yeah.
watch a lot, you observe. So what do you want to say to them?
Yes, reading is very, very important. And it actually even helped me with the way how I speak. It says if you read, it helps you communicate as well. It is very important to have books in your hand and read rather than the gadgets, the computer. It's not the same. It's not authentic reading. So for me, even if many people have online books, I prefer to have the real book in front of me because you get into a space where you're concentrating and you can see how they've written because there's ways how an artist creates through writing. So you can see the shape of the way how they've written so many things. And yeah, so I really push parents to motivate their children, encourage their children to read, especially the Black community, the African community, the Caribbean community. We need to start reading. The books that we are writing are for you. And yeah, so it's very important to support the Black community as well, support Black authors and writers. Yeah, and let's just grow together in always.
Wow, wow. Oh, my proud Black woman. It's going to be amazing to that.
Thank
Wanting
you so
Africa,
much.
wanting Africa back on the map. And I'm so proud of you. I mean,
Thank
speaking
you.
so boldly as an African woman, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that.
Thank you so much. We are together.
So you know what kind of research do you do, and how long do you spend researching before writing a poem? Because I know you've written so many poems. So what
Yes.
kind of research and how long does it take for you to write such amazing poems out there?
Yes. Thank you. So I'll just go for my book Mwana. My book Mwana took, I think, 9 months to make, to create. So I had a goal, so it should be finished by October. So from January, I wrote on my whiteboard that this book should be finished October, which was Black History Month. So it took me 9 months to write everything and complete. And what motivates, sorry, did you say what
So what kind of research do
yes.
you do, and how long, do you spend in writing such
Yeah.
poems?
Okay. So the research that I do, it was very easy for me because I was going by my journey. I was going by my voice. I was going by what I experienced. So my journey in Tanzania as a child. So it was literally just going back into my thoughts and my walk and putting that in writing to share. And I think it was very easy because I was speaking my truth.
Good, good. Wow. Interesting. So for you, as a poet, how do you relax? How do you relax?
And yes, actually, I think the way how I relax is reading my own poetry and reading other poems. It's really good for me. Anything that any writer that I either work with around me, I like to read their work. So I think the way how I relax is just thinking about my thoughts and thinking about my poetry.
So how many books do you have to your credit? How many?
Yes, at the moment it's just the book Mwana, which was launched in 2020.
2020. So
Yeah.
in the Mwana book, how
Yes.
many poems, or should I say how many?
How many?
Right to say chapters, of poems.
Yes. So in this small collection, we've only got 30 poems.
Wow.
Yes, 30 poems in here. And there's many more, but the 30 just made it to this collection.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would you want to, maybe share with us 1 or 2 poems, just
Sure.
if anyone, is watching you from Tanzania.
Sure. So I'm going to share a poem which is called Tribes. I think Tribes was inspired by all the tribes that still live today across Africa and those that lived. So, for example, in Tanzania, we have the Maasai tribe. So as soon as you get to Tanzania, they welcome you with the vibrant red shukas, and then the Azabes or Hadzabe tribes that still live today, that live life like how our ancestors lived. And then, of course, when you go to Ghana, you have the Ashanti tribes.
Yeah.
So, and they all live across Africa. So this one is called Tribes.
Okay. Second one, because you said you're going to you shared one. So the second one, I'm so passionate about your poems. So
yeah, sure. So I'm gonna read the poem called Tribes,
sure.
and it goes like this. The I's oldest tribe reigns on the red soil of Tanganyika. The I's oldest tribe reigns on the red soil of Tanganyika. Seen and breathes throughout its 54 faces and its 4 corners, deep opening its third eye, semi-naked covered in animal skin, vibration codes, sounds of clicks, hunts, the spirit of Ubuntu, igniting natural fires in its deep, deep valleys, holding valuable roots closest to our ancestors. The I's oldest tribe reigns on the red soil of Tanganyika, seen and breathes throughout its 54 faces, Maasai, Adzabi, Ashanti, opening its third eye, semi-naked, covered in animal skin, vibration codes, sounds of clicks, hunts, the spirit of Ubuntu, igniting natural fires in its deep, deep valleys, holding valuable roots closest to our ancestors. Thank you, Sister Ghana.
Wow. Poems
So that's
are so
another one.
powerful. Poems are so powerful. And for you, I'm thinking you've been here for a very long time, but then you're still connected to your roots. I don't know how, because you know the
Yes,
things that you're saying and the things you're actually communicating, you're so deep. How is that
yes.
possible?
So I believe the stage is when you're born from the age, or when you're born to the age of 7, or they say from when you're born to the age of 3 is the very important what you're teaching your child. And those, my memories were in Tanzania, and a lot of stuff were instilled in me in that time.
Hmm.
So it never goes away, I believe. And my connection still lives there. My family are there. So it will never go away. When I'm there, it's a completely different feeling. And I think we can all resonate with that. When we are at home, you feel at home. So yeah, I think that's what it is.
I can tell that your formative years were so strong because still living in those memories and still connecting with your
Yeah,
roots is so deep and it's so
thank you so
profound as
much.
well. It's so profound as well.
Thank
You know, being I'm so actually blown away. So for
you.
you
Thank you.
being a parent and you being
Yeah.
an author and also being a full-time mom, how do you manage to fit all
Everything.
these? Or how do you juggle? Yeah, or juggle
Yes.
all these intense or you know. I mean, how do you manage to pull
Yes.
all
Um,
these hectic schedules together? How do you do it?
yes. I think because it's something that I really enjoy creative, it doesn't come as a burden. It doesn't come as a chore.
Hmm.
So it's done when when it's naturally when I can. And with my home life, it's very easy because, and actually most of the time, I'm doing more home life than poetry. I think online, what I post, it seems like I'm doing so much, but it's literally, it's everything is planned, and it's very, I don't feel the stress at all. But most of my days, I'm usually busy at playgroups.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, and now, and actually within the 2 years, I think it's been a lot easier because everything has been online. So it has made everything a bit manageable. I think if I had to go to places,
Hmm.
then I would probably would have been a bit more hectic. But
Hectic.
the 2 years, actually, with the lockdown, it has helped because everything has been virtual.
Rachel,
If
okay.
that, yeah.
Good.
Yes.
For you, your creative, like your creativity, I would say is an innate one, something you were born with it. But then, how can parents, whose children, do not have any
Yeah.
um, creativity, in
Yeah.
them, but then they want to instill that in them,
Yeah.
just for them to be able to read books, to be creative
Yeah.
in their writing. And I mean, how would you all advise them? Or how can parents channel
Yeah.
their children's, I'm just
The
thinking of a word. Um,
I know what you mean.
mhm,
Just yeah. I definitely understand.
okay.
I think so actually growing up I remember going to places where we could sing, where we could do different activities, and I think that also played a part. So just outside of education, find out what, or look at your child, see what they're good at, because everybody has a skill and everybody has something that they are born to be
To be.
and their purpose. So speak with them, communicate with them. What do you enjoy? Put them in groups with other children as well, because sometimes I think as our community, we think that's only school is the best place for our children. But I think we're learning slowly. Sometimes what we're being taught there doesn't really fit who we are. So find other places that your child can fit in, and where they can see their potential and other creative that lives with them. But communication, I think, as on a table, finding out what your children like and pushing them in what they enjoy rather than choosing for them things to do. Yeah.
I mean, in trying to find out what they enjoy doing outside school, do you think in our community we have time for our children?
I think we definitely have the time, but the question is, do we make that time, or do we leave it in other people's hands to look after our children?
Mm-hmm.
I think we leave it to school to grow our children, but it begins from home. It really does. So we need to make that time as a community. Yeah.
I like that one. Because because here we are. Don't get me wrong, we are all busy.
Yeah.
Working, and so sometimes it's so difficult trying to make time, just like you said,
Yeah.
for our children to enjoy some of these extra, curriculum activities. Yeah. I've seen a lot on your show, inviting different performers on your show. How do you pull that off?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sister Nana. So I think you're speaking of Mwana events, and a platform that highlights and portrays artists from Africa and Caribbean. So the Black community is there to literally motivate, encourage, and build a community. So for me, it actually began when I was launching my book, and I thought, what can I do so that we can involve everyone? And that's how it began. And ever since then, people want to be a part of it. People want to showcase their talent. People want these kind of activities in their community because they feel they belong. And even this month, actually, I wanted to give everyone a break. But I had a call not too long ago to say that we need the show for December, and please let's just have all poets on there. So within 24 hours, I managed to find people, put the message out, and everyone was so willing to be a part of it. And that's just it shows you that the community are there and want to be a part of it and want to grow together and share one voice through creativity.
Wow.
So it's amazing.
So now you have one. How did you first, get your first book published? Because we have a lot of writers out there struggling to get publishers.
Yes.
So for you, did you struggle to get any publisher? And if you did, if you can maybe throw some light on it, and maybe maybe it might actually help somebody out there. Yeah.
Yes. So creating my book Mwana, so at first I had all this writing on my computer. And I was wondering, what do I do with them? And at one point, as I said, January, I wrote on my board that I want to make a book that year in 2020. And I was wondering, who can understand my voice? Who can I give this writing to? And they will understand what I want to do with it. And I was just looking for somebody. And sometime in that year, I was writing a poem called African Mama. And one of our culture ambassador in the community, Hamida Mbaga, who I'm actually wearing her products from All Things African, the Tanzanian earrings, color flag. Yes, she asked me what was I doing, and I told her I'm writing a poem. And she said, I know the right person in our community, who is Mr. Tony Tacombo Fernandez, who will really understand what you want to do with your writing. So these things just came from the community. And straight away, Mr. Tony Fernandez asked for my bio, and he just provided step-by-step guidance, literally, to create this book. He said, your writing doesn't need no editing. Your voice is your voice. And he just led me in the right ways to everything, how a book can be created, basically. He provided all the resources of what he knew, his knowledge, to create this book. So I'm self-published, but the guidance from my community, from Hamid Mbaga and Tony Tacoma Fernandez, I was able to put this book together.
Okay, yes. So you published it yourself?
Yes.
Wow, wow. If Tony is watching, what would you want to say to Tony?
I would like to say that Mr. Tony Fernandez is a true innovator in the community, with the platform that he has, that has even made me and you today connect, and many more people that his through him, many of us are working together, and that's a great leader and icon, and just so much respect to Mr. Tony Fernandez, and I'm forever grateful. So thank you so much, Mr. Tony Tacoma Fernandez.
I mean, for me, I would like to personally thank Tony. Tony, thank you so much for this connection and also for your platform. I mean, it's so amazing. And, one thing about him is he doesn't withhold information at all. He's always willing to support, willing to listen, willing to, literally do anything for anybody. And so we'd like to say thank you, Uncle Tony, wherever you are. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Asante sana.
Asante sana. Yeah. So, can you give any advice to anyone wanting to write and also publish poems?
Yes.
Poetry.
Yes. So I think that if you find yourself writing, keep writing. Don't stop. Don't stop writing. And even if you struggle to write, or if in any situation, write down how you're feeling. You never know, that feeling can also help someone else. So just use your skills, because it could be a skill that you don't know of. So keep writing, share it with someone, because I was scared to share my writing. And I actually told Mr. Tony, I'm scared of this writing. He said, don't worry, your writing out, and someone else can identify with it. So keep writing and share your voice, share your truth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So do you think your writing should necessarily be perfect, or you just have to just put your thoughts in writing and you're good to go?
Your writing does not have to be perfect at all, because nothing is perfect in this life, and as people, I think we connect more when something is raw and authentic. So write your truth. It heals. Writing heals.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that one. Writing heals. Wow. Yeah. You know what? We've got a lot of comments on the line.
Wow.
I have my beautiful Hajia Halima Sajitu, all the way from Ghana. She's one of the most influential women in Ghana. Wow. She's watching us. She says, thank you for sharing this. And then, we've got another one also, Hamida.
That's Culture Ambassador.
Okay. She's also saying, great. And
amazing.
Also have, Hajia Halima also saying, interesting line of questioning. And I have Abuna Tichiwa Dankwa. She's also in Bradford here. She's saying, you're beautiful, Jackie. Well done.
Wow. Thank you.
So, please keep your comments coming. And if you have any questions also for Jackie, or Jacqueline, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
More than happy to answer them, because this interview purposely, is for our children. We just want to make, help our children to be creative enough, to channel some of their energy into writing. And because who knows, it might maybe help somebody. Some of their stories, their hidden stories, their silly imaginations, can turn into something powerful. So, Jacqueline is here to, talk about, her experience, her experiences, her pain, through writing, everything about her, into writing. So if you have a child watching us, we've got a living example here who used to write as a child, and here she is as one of the renowned, poets in the UK. So, anything is possible, and just put your mind to it, and then you're good to go. So, in addition to your, poetry, have you written anything, or have you done or anything outside your poetry or your books that you've done?
I think it broke up there, but I think I got the question. So from my...
Okay. Let me repeat what I just said, okay? In addition to your poetry, I know you've done other stuff in terms of your show that you have. But I just want to ask, have you, written any nonfiction? Because the Mwana, it's something that is real, isn't it? So, have you done any nonfiction?
Okay.
Books, or you've done anything that's not the truth, but then you've just used your imagination, to create it. You know what I mean? Have you done anything of that sort?
I haven't done that just yet, but I think what I use is my experiences, because I really want to resonate with the African youth. I really want to share stories that they can also just walk with and say, yes, I understand that. So I use my journey, but I do other stuff that's children's storytelling. But African storytelling. So, and I use my imagination for that, but I still use my experiences when I am in Tanzania, and I bring it to life so that they are entertained and they feel Africa. So, so that's true African storytelling and poetry readings, live poetry readings.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, what is a typical day in the life of Jackline Waziri when you are on your seat writing your poems? What is that day like?
When I'm sitting down writing?
No, I mean when you're in the in the mood of writing poems.
Yes.
What does it feel like?
When I'm in the mood, I literally just want to write everything that I'm feeling, thinking, and I don't want to miss a thought. So sometimes it gets it's very challenging, but yes. So I just when I'm on the road to writing, I just want to write and share everything that someone else can relate to as well.
So do you sometimes even wake up in the middle of the night to write, or it just happens?
Yes.
Okay.
Great question. Yes, that happened. I think sometimes that's the best time, because I think it's like your conscious tells you, write this. And I literally take my phone quickly, because I don't have a pen then, and I write it in my phone and I save it. So on my phone, I have so many words that I want to use for the next book that I write. So anytime that something pops into my mind, a good line or just something that's catchy that someone else can also think, wow. So I just write it somewhere quickly and I hold on to it.
Good. So for with Mwana, do you enjoy promoting the book yourself, or do you just enjoy meeting your readers?
Yes. I enjoy also promoting my book, but I like the responses that people are giving from when they're reading, because it's nice to see that how they read whatever poem that they've read and how they felt, and they've told me. So it could be something completely different from how I wrote it, but they resonate in a different way, but we still meet somewhere halfway. So it's very interesting to get those feedbacks.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So share maybe one or two testimonials that you've received from your readers that really touched your heart.
Amazing. So I think, of course, Mr. Tony, I think he gave the first review because he read my whole book before it was published, before it was out. So his review of Mwana, I think it kind of, it covered everything of what the book is about.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. Tony wrote, Mwana is a raw and refreshing collection of poetry, embracing profound themes in relation to community, the children of Africa, and the unapologetic voice of Jacqueline Waziri through a transition of many journeys and overwhelming experiences. So that's from Mr. Tony. And there was another one from a reader who is from Tanzania. So they kind of they identified it with how they are in Tanzania because they would know exactly what I'm speaking, and I would like to share that with you. Quickly, I'll just find it. This review is from Mr. Freddie Macha, who is a musician and writer from Tanzania. So he wrote, Mwana is a small, concisely crafted work that looks like a hot dart thrown from the street in Kinondoni, and that's where I'm from.
Wow.
All the way to London and beyond. And he wrote, why make a noise about such a tiny book? Number one, it is easy reading. Number two, it is a microcosm of a young African woman telling a simple verse of where she came from and where she is going. That's pretty much it.
Well, so how did you feel, when you read that, the review?
Yes. So reading that review is I'm reading from a creative person as well. So he's very creative in his writing, but he knew exactly what I wanted to do with my book, to share my story of the streets in Tanzania. And I put that name in my book, Kinondoni, because that's a street that I grew up on. So the way how he said that I threw the dart from Kinondoni all the way to London is just so perfect, because that's what I want to do. I want to share my stories of my childhood in Africa to the youth here in the UK, because we all come from somewhere, and yeah, we all belong somewhere, and people get to see that in the book.
Wow. Yeah. I just love and like the way you seem to be identified with your roots. And then would you admit that you are, from your book, I would say you are way above, I wouldn't want to say age, because that would, that would seem a bit, but it's like, you come across as someone very, old, because it's so yes, wisdoms. Yeah, I mean, because that one book is loaded. You know what I mean? And from a creative point of view, you've really, say researched into what you did, and also, like anybody at all, from Africa can just read a book and can just feel connected, to their roots. And so, you've really, really done an amazing job on that book. Yeah.
So much. I don't want to cry, Sister Nana.
And so, I took my time to read most of the reviews, and I'm thinking, for people to write reviews like that on that book, it means that book is so profound, for people to write,
thank you so much.
Such testimonial, because normally, it's such maybe one or two sentences, but all the reviews are so, I would say about 5 to 8 sentences. And they are very, very touching. You could tell that they've read the book, they really understood where you were coming from. And that's, you know, I'll say I do commend you for that.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Mwana has come to stay. And if anybody, you know, wants to buy your book, where can they find Mwana?
Wow. Thank you so much, Sister Nana. So my book, Mwana, is available on my website, which is my name that you can see on the screen, JacklineWaziri.com. And it's there and it's available. Please, parents, do get one for your children. Let them read, let them see where they are from, or you read to them, because it's I'm sure you will find even one poem that they will resonate with. Yes.
Let me help you out here. You know, Christmas is coming, and you know,
Oh,
Christmas is all about giving. So, you know, we've bought toys enough for our children.
yeah.
So this Christmas, can we change it to, can we change it a bit by, buying Mwana? You know, this book by Jackline Waziri for our daughters, for our sons, for our aunties, for our uncles, for our grandparents. Mwana, you know, is all about African history.
Yeah.
And African history is so rich.
Yeah.
So, in trying to project Africa, can we please buy this book from Jackline Waziri, you know, as a present, you know, for our children? And trust me, maybe in the years to come, you know, you will appreciate what our sister has done, in how she managed to put her creativity, you know, into action. And I think we shouldn't deprive our children from their creativity, you know, skill that God has actually, you know, put in them, you know, because most of the times we see our children writing, you know, everywhere. Sometimes, you know, as parents, we tell them, why don't you, do something better with your time, instead of just writing skits, you know, writing, you know, unnecessary things. But, you know, that creativity starts from those dots, those tiny, silly things they write on paper.
Yeah.
Then eventually it becomes a book. Who knows? So, you know, we should just encourage our children to read. Jackline's, you know, actually, you know, read as a child, you know, wrote little things as a child. And here she is, you know, as a poet and as an author. So, you know, for this Christmas, I'm just pleading with parents. We've bought enough shoes, clothes. Our wardrobes are overflowing with stuff that children don't even need. So instead of educating our community, I'm just urging you to buy Mwana. And it's by our own Jackline Waziri. Let's support our sister, and let's just project Africa through poetry, through poems.
Wow.
And let us teach our children the right information. The right information. And trust me, when you read in Mwana, it talks about how it is. So, Jackline, on that note, what kind of advice? You know, I think this, you know, I know you have an upcoming event coming on next week, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know whether it's ready on the screen for, if my technical team can bring it up here for me, please. Oh, yes, it's called Mwana and Poets. It's, you know, Mwana, you know, brings, you know, guests, you know, across the world, you know, people who still want to showcase Africa. And we, you know, we have, you know, Jackline as the host. And, you know, for next week, we have a special guest. It's called, oh, sorry, I don't have my glasses.
Yes. So our special guest is an amazing poet from Zimbabwe. And he's an amazing inspirational poet who has been writing from so young, and he writes 5 poems a day, and he's just amazing. So everyone there is, the majority is from Nigeria. We've got Barbados, Tanzania, of course, and Grenada. So it's going to be, it's Black excellence, rich rich culture of just a community showcasing just poetry. So it's going to be exciting, fun, and full of education. So get your children, get yourselves there, and it's via Zoom. So you cannot miss out. We welcome you all, Aquaba, Karibu, to Mwana events. Thank you.
Wow. That's amazing. It's amazing. So next week, Saturday, like it's Saturday, isn't it? And if you're free, actually, look, I wouldn't say if you're free, but then make time and let's support Jacqueline Waziri. Let's go and watch what the stuff that she's made of. So what are your final words, to your fans, out there?
Thank you so much. So firstly, I just want to thank you for the great work that you do and for allowing me to share my voice on your amazing platform to Ghana and the rest of the world. So I'm super humbled and privileged. Thank you, Sister Nana. And thank you for the research that you've done of me to present tonight. I'm super grateful. And I would just like to say to everyone, thank you for watching us. And I'm hoping that one way or another that you learn something new, and even if it's to inspire your children to continue writing, to share their voice, because that's what's important from what I do, that the African children share their voice and they feel an identity and they feel safe in who they are. So so thank you so much. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can find me across my platforms, Jackline Waziri, and I'm there. And if you have any children who are creative, send them to me so they can perform on Mwana events. Let's push the children, let's push the youth, and let's keep being a great community in a positive way. So thank you so much. Asanteni Sana.
Asanteni Sana. Oh, wow. On that note, thank you so much also for coming on the Inside View. We feel so privileged because knowing how busy you are, also organizing your own programs here and there, and you managed to be here to prompt us on the importance of reading and also putting our creativity into action. And I've learned a lot, especially reading your reviews. It shows how wonderful your parents have been in trying to shape the amazing woman that you are today. So if you're a parent watching me live now, can we urge or support our children, especially in the area of reading? I would like to say I started, visiting the library at the age of 5 years. I mean, thank God for, the kind of environment that, I grew up in. I don't like talking about, my background, but I would like to say it really helped and also really shaped the kind of person I am today. So reading is powerful. Reading is good. Reading is so important. And reading also opens your mind, your imaginative, mind. It helps you the way you construct your words, your vocabulary, and everything. And it also gives you that confidence because, I'll say you are way ahead of your peers based on the stuff that you read. So instead of gadgets, iPads, phones, and whatever, can we channel that energy into reading books? Can we channel those time into visiting our libraries? Let us make time. Yes, I know time is, for a greater sense in this country, but let us try and create that time for our children, because our children is our future. Is our future. So on that note, Christmas is coming, and the Inside View is old, so there's a lot cooking in the pot. Then also we have Mwana. If you can show the book again, Mwana. Please don't forget to buy Mwana for your daughter. Don't forget to buy Mwana for your son. Don't forget to buy Mwana for your families, your loved ones. Let us support Jacqueline Waziri. So Jacqueline, thank you so much once again. And on that note, Asante
Thank
Sana.
you.
And then
Asante Sana. And the same to you, Sister Nana. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.